Cram can just hold it down until the 13-minute mark and then survive. Alien is more like, I gotta do it now or else.
You gotta do it now. I feel like Alien has a timer on him. I feel like at the very least, if I am not winning my lane, if nothing is happening, I'm willing to sacrifice what is necessary to help my team. And honestly, the more that I talk about it, these two guys are the exact same players on two different sides of a coin.
Well, let's see how that will unfold in the draft and how that will reflect. And yes, we ourselves are very happy that the draft has started. Thank you so much to everyone who stuck it out with us and was patient. It's an alpha ban for Ulfednar and SRG taking away the Fanny. SRG taking away the Fanny. I feel like it's something that something you do not hear often, but that is huge respects to, again, the assassin hero pool. And it's the junglers that's getting pinched in the draft.
What's left? The
Lan.
I mean, we need to get rid of we got to get rid of, you know, the staples.
The Joie.
The Joie Shin?
No, the Joie.
The Joie?
She's hot right now. Sakai's played her yesterday.
That is true. That is true. But I also think that Hilda needs to be thought of as well.
Fight for the ultimate answer.
Who's gonna get an aneurysm? What are you talking about?
Dude, I was like, Joachim? Joachim?
Yes, Yushin is still open too.
Yeah. All right, so when you're going to be focusing too much on pinching out the junglers, then key mid laners or EXP laners might actually show up.
Could go either way here. Interestingly enough, I want to see what Ulfednar is planning, right? Because banning out the Alpha is already interesting. We've seen a couple of teams do that, but to ban Alpha and as well as the Suyo, there was a very intimate relationship between these two heroes.
Yes, they were once the Alpha and Omega, literally, of the meta wherein Nolan would be a solid third. Are they setting up TNZ to pick up the Nolan, or are they trying to make this a weird jungle matchup wherein TNZ's specialties like the Leomord and the Amon come through?
That's a pretty interesting shout, but I think that right now, with both Alpha and as well as Suyo out of that pool, on top of the Fanny, of course, next thing that I'm thinking of, Joy. Is that the next pick that we're going to be looking for? And if Joy does show up, are we expecting Hayabusa, even Link, to be showing up for SRG's side?
I feel like that also could be a question for Ulfednar. If you see a Joy on the other side, are you going to put Tienzi on his Comfort Ling, a pick that he popped off with during the wildcards? Are you going to surprise and pick something that you picked a lot in the Turkiya Championship and even during Embassy 2024, that if there's a Joy on the side of SRG, what about the Ruby that they've shown that they can flex into Roam or EXP, even if it is an off-kilter meta pick at that time?
But that's going to depend. Yes, it is an off-meta pick. It is situational. It's highly dependent on, first of all, what exactly are you trying to stop? Secondly, are you able to come into range? Because half the problem is just gap closing most of the time. You don't want to always have to waste your flicker just to make something happen.
In Turkey, Ruby XP is a thing. Luckily, SRG Cram plays a solid Ruby in the XP too.
Oh yeah, wait.
Even Yums!
Yeah, that was one of the picks that led them to victory in Embassy 2024, their flexibility on the Ruby. Let's see if that pick will pop up. Hylos gets picked, but again, the Bruno Beatrix trade is active.
Oh, man.
Oh, but SRG did also show a Granger yesterday, so I wouldn't take it against, you know, Bruno Beatrix, Granger, I feel like
still open.
Still very up in the air for both of them.
Yep. Neither want to confirm.
Yeah, this one's really, really tough because once Hylos comes up, you think about Granger, you think about Bruno. As soon as you get hit by the Glorious Pathway, you're just in line of it. You have to use a movement ability to get out. If not, you're just too slow. You're going to get run down really, really quick.
Yep, Rondo out, slide tackle back.
I wonder if SRG would consider banning out the Aurora then, taking it away from Rosa, putting it into Stormy's hands. Bruno Cho. And you hear the crowd roar as Yums gets his Cho.
High prio picks already. Powerful double pick swing for SRG on red.
Don't forget that this is still a flex pick. This could easily fall into the hands of Cram. It could easily fall into the hands of Yums. It could go anywhere for in all intents and purposes. Now, Ulfednar is going to see this, and they need to figure out a response. Number one, can they find a winning matchup? If not, look for at least a way to play around the Bruno like we mentioned before.
Now, in the next two picks for Ulfednar, teams have been starting to show Beatrix pop up a little bit more often here. The Thorn Queen can lock in the pick right now, but there's the Hayabusa, one of the things that we theorized. And wait, I haven't seen you in a while, Harith.
We haven't seen a Harith ran into a Bruno often.
Yeah, because usually it's like the trade, one is banned.
Yep.
But wow, getting your core super early for Ulfednar. They're looking at the... Okay, they're maximizing the flex of the high loss. Oh, and they want to set up Rosa for success.
Technically, these are not all their cores. It's possible that Rosa also picks up a high damage mage, and they go from there.
Harith mid?
I think I would rather the Farsa come through before you go Harith mid.
I agree. I was thinking along the lines.
Oh, no,
of
sorry.
maybe
That's what I
Farsa.
thought. That's what you were going for because you said high damage core. Okay, yeah. No, Farsa. You know, I agree. Farsa
Yes.
into the Bruno, perfect.
Yes.
I mean, it sounds perfect, but it depends on what this third pick is going to be, right?
If it's Gata Kali,
If it's Gato Kali, not even Gato Kali, even if an assassin
also
shows up,
shadows.
right? It begs a lot of the questions. Yes, there we go. The Lo Yi was the only other substantial pick that they could have gone for to create plays across the map, not caring whether or not you pick the Farsa. Yes, you have that artillery, but as
Yeah.
long as we have tempo, that is going to be the name of the game.
well, Ulfednar have a very mean mid lane farce, Lo Yi, that they show up. That's one of the reasons why they dominated the wild card. So I want to take it against them to know how to play around it and to consider. But I wonder if this means that Ulfednar would want to consider a lineup that might do well better in the defense, you know? End up picking up something like maybe an Edith for Alien later on and put this high loss in the roam instead. But thinking about it, the high loss in the roam might actually struggle up against Lo Yi just a little bit.
Just a little bit, but as long as you clear that wave and take minimal damage, usually it's all right. SRG, very smart plan of trying to pinch down on that mid laner, on the mid laners to ensure, hey, make sure we can, if anything, give them a Valentina, you know, bare bones, something that is punishable, something that cannot just face check bushes.
Yeah, right now the Valentina's not picking up much.
Yeah.
Very weird to play into a Lo Yi, try to steal that diversion. You're wasting so many steps between step 1 and 2 that your opponent's going to be way ahead. If your opponents are SRG, they're not going to let you breathe. Steal away a Way of the Dragon, also not worth it. So I'm liking where you're thinking with this, Gideon. I'm liking how you're putting yourself in Coach Arcadia's shoes and saying,
Still waters
we dare you to
run
pick the
deep.
Valentina.
Your team is banning.
Ooh, Ling ban. Okay, this might open up some more options. Are there any other assassins that we should be worried about? I mean, Suyo is already gone. Hayabusa has already been taken. Joy probably is like the only other assassin I can think of off the top of my head.
Joy Nolan.
No, Joy or Nolan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in terms of like the options, but I feel like they already have a good amount of physical in the Bruno. They don't need to pair a Bruno and a Nolan together. Oh wait, you know what? I'm not gonna hate on that idea. That actually sounds pretty devastating.
Good burst.
Yeah, Nolan, Bruno, and then you have the Lo Yi as well. Ooh, wait, that's spicy. I like
So
it.
they should ban the Nolan. Is that what you're saying? Because if they ban the Joy, they allow for that Nolan.
Team is banning.
Yeah, either or. So it'll be up to them to decide like which one they're more willing to let through.
Ooh. Oh, this is
Wait,
very
cheesy.
interesting. This is very interesting. They want to set up for an EXP pick here. But what exactly would be a good EXP pick? If you're getting rid of CC in particular, I'm thinking of like potential tanks that could go into the EXP lane. I'm guessing Gatokacha, but even then, there are still counter picks in Glue. There's still counter picks in even Phoveus as well, all of which do well with each other. I was hoping for either a Glue or even a Phoveus ban, but then when you are on that red side, you do have that first pick, but you have to show that first ban initially to allow blue side to respond.
Are they going to hold on to the Cho Flex, or will they finally reveal the jungle?
Tough to say.
That's red 4. That's where
Sand rises
SRG
when
resumes
I
the
give
draft.
the
Your
word.
team is picking.
I feel like that's them setting up for Farsa already. When you have the Ling ban, you have the Khalid ban, you picked up Hayabusa third.
And they'll see what the jungler is, if it can cut through the lane,
Yeah.
cut through the formation.
Yep. So right now, the question is, who gets priority for that last pick? Is it going to be EXP or is it going to be jungle? Personally, for me, I think leaving EXP for that final pick is going to give a significant advantage. Whoever locks in the other, you will find a counter pick for it, and at least utilize your flex pick better.
Yeah, more so because you know that this is just a Joy or a Nolan.
Exactly.
One or the other. If it's neither of those two,
It's Fredrin.
paint a surprise. Would you Fredrin here?
I mean, I'm waiting for the last two picks, but
Your team
it should be okay. Oh, fool.
Protect the jungler.
Okay. Shows Fove. Ulfendar can go for Glue straight off the bat here. Oh, is that a good idea? I feel like if SRG is willing to say, hey, Cram, you're going to have to just eat dirt for a little bit, you know? The laning phase is going to be difficult, but later in the game, you're going to be more relevant, especially with something like Harith and even the Hayabusa, which can proc your passive very, very often.
I don't know why. Something about that. Why can I not stop thinking about the Fredrin? I don't know why. I
For
just-
SRG?
Yeah. I mean, like, the Phoveus needs a little bit more help fronting.
Was all of last year not enough for you?
Hey.
What was it in your hand, dude?
It's been 3 years now.
What was it in Sutsujin's in your hand?
Last 2 picks.
Oh yeah, it is Farsa, see?
All right, nice. But they also go for the Tigreal, which is interesting because now team fighting, especially for Apex 47, this is one of his more consistent heroes, right? He doesn't usually miss those implosions.
I don't know. My head keeps going to utility, even though they do need the damage.
Nolan or Joy.
But something about the BTK approach of, hey, let's pick up a utility jungler like a Fred or maybe even an Akai, so that their pick-off style isn't, or setup, doesn't really have a lot to set up to into pick-off. You'll survive it, and then you set up the Bruno, the Low Yi. But yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be Nolan or Joy, you know.
Honestly, it's really, really tough, right? Any assassin coming into the Tigreal is already a problem. You don't have a guaranteed way of canceling out the Farsa by yourself, but they lock in the Frederick at the very end.
Is that enough damage?
I'm not sure.
That's the problem, though.
They believe in Innocent, maybe.
I'm scared.
It's Low Yi, Bruno focused.
That's it.
That's it. All right. Ingan, Naisu, let's go.
Taking a page out of the BTK book we saw earlier, they lock in the Fredrin. We can't even call it MOBA Fred anymore, right? This is now a Fredrin being brought to the table. I know Renmar stood up. He felt really good about it. What is up, guys? I'm Naisu and Ingan to bring you this matchup. Ulfednar and SRG. How are we feeling, Ingan? How are we feeling about these lineups?
Honestly, I was really hoping for an assassin versus assassin matchup. TNZ versus Sakai's well-known assassin users, micro-heavy users. But again, I have to agree with the panel. Is the damage from the Giants, from SRG, going to be enough though to take on Ulfednar?
That's a question that we are going to find out as we jump into the Land of Dawn. It's SRG and Ulfednar in this best of one. Both teams still looking for that victory within the Swiss stage. We'll see if they're able to pull through. And this time around, too, quite a bit of contrast, you know, with the 2 lineups that we're looking at. And maybe this is going to be it because the home crowd is here. They're locked and loaded and ready to watch SRG hopefully bring a victory because we know that they need it. And you know, when we look at this and we saw the stats, so it was a good lengthy discussion from the panel, and I really appreciated it because they broke a lot of things down. And even with that interesting fun fact, you know, about
Rosa.
Just Rosa, the amount of, was it average damage?
Highest average damage per minute
In
for
30
the
M-Series
whole
games?
MC. 30 plus.
Wow.
30 plus.
Not only that, but this is one of the signature heroes of Rosa. So, you know, gets the Farsa, so definitely going to be doing the damage here, and I think that's why a lot of us, whoa, TNT, whoa! Taken! Goodbye, purple buff.
Okay, so TNZ with a huge purple buff steal up against SRG. And right now, if you're Ulfednar, you really want to capitalize on this. Again, you have a Harrod going up against a Bruno. Usually we don't see this, but Kenzie goes in with a wee shadow kill, gonna bring down Yumes! And a very aggressive TNZ!
Hey, this is a Hayabusa that we're talking about, and you know what I mean? It almost feels bad because when you think about the actual matchup, let's just say, you know, a Hayabusa versus a Fredrin, like Fredrin himself, he's just going to be watching as the shadows are going in and out and shadow kill, and all he can do is really just kind of tank it up and hope that the team doesn't get whittled down too quickly. But already with an early kill like that, obviously Ulfednar, a little bit of momentum building up into this first turtle. They're going to be setting themselves up. I mean, think about all that's happened. You know, it is definitely going to delay SRG from getting to the point where they want to. You still have that orange buff being worked on, and look at this, Apex 47 gives that information over. So Ulfednar will be the ones to go ahead and start this up, but it looks like they're still going to rotate down here, possibly for that fight. That level obviously showing in this case TNZ, you know.
2 levels.
Level 6 already.
2
But
levels.
Sakai's, he doesn't care. He'll start up the turtle anyway and hold things together. It looks like they're going to take the calm and calculated approach.
Okay, they want to go to force out Glorious Pathway onto the back line, onto Stormy, but look at the Infernal Pursuit coming in from Cram, wanting to Zora, but here comes Rosa though. Just trying to deal out the damage.
Whoa.
And Rosa's going to get the turtle away from SRG. Another implosion play will pursue there as they bring down Stormy. Now Yums and Sakai has to walk away as Cram trying to soak up the damage and save.
Apex! What a play! He just saved him!
A sacrificial play for Cram. But again, there was no trade for SRG because Rosa with the feathered airstrike gets the turtle, and again TNZ takes down Sekai's.
You know what? Well, SRG gets a kill at least out of all that, but man, they lost so much. Ulfednar is locked in.
Oh, and they're not even done. They want to go for Yums once again. Origi Shadow Kill paired up with the feathered airstrike. Rosa and TNZ making quick work of Yums. And this isn't just any Yums here. This is a show that Yums is known to use. And now 0-2-0 start.
Oh man, like I'm a little bit flabbergasted at what's going on here. Ulfednar, I knew that they wanted to go ahead and get the momentum going with a lineup like they brought to this game, but not expecting this. And it all started, I feel like, just with that purple buff steal, man.
Yeah.
It all started there.
The Quad Shadow entry, Retribution coming in from TNZ, and again they want to go for that initiation as they force out Stormy's flicker out, so another huge resource expended by the mid laner of SRG. 3.4k gold lead for Ulfednar, 5-1. SRG wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, I don't think so here, Ingan, and part of that might be, maybe at this point, because they're falling quite a bit behind, in the grand scheme of things. This is a big gap to work against this early on, especially when you take in consideration you got a 3-level gap between the junglers.
The panel was mentioning a while ago, talking about the status of Ulfednar, if they're still a dark horse. Looking at how they're playing right now, I'm pretty sure they are now officially contenders. Going up against a team like SRG, dominating in the early stages of the game, 3.7k gold lead, as Alien starts things off, trying to pull the turtle to their side.
They're going to go ahead and start things up. Again, advantage for Ulfednar. Both gold laners still staying in their lane. It's going to be a 4v4.
Here comes Glorious Pathway once again. They want to start things off. Trying to zone out Sekai's here as Rosa hasn't casted yet his ultimate. Now 4,000 HP for this turtle. Yums goes in with a flicker, but it's gonna miss. Tenzi goes in with a Wiki Shadow Kill. It's gonna be Retribution battle, but Sekai's gets the turtle. Now the counter attack coming in from Salon Red Giant. They want to go for more. The target is Apex 47. Energy Eruption. Appraiser's Wrath might be enough to bring down, but Crab goes in with the Infernal Pursuit. The answer of the Giant. Yums, okay, he's gonna connect with the Way of the Dragon, but here comes Sunshine to bring him down. They're not even done. Crab goes in, takes down the Thorn Queen. Stormy will fall down in the hands of Sunshine, but Innocent answers right back with a volley shot. TNZ, Alien, trying to zone out SRG and stop the onslaught of SRG.
Now we have a game on our hands as SRG rallies alongside the crowd here as they erupt. Man, what a turnaround. Great for them, but they still got work to do. Ulfednar, though, they got checked. And I'm surprised even in that exchange with the turtle that SRG was actually able to go ahead and secure it. They took their time, they approached it, and despite the level gap between the junglers, Sekai's, he made it work. He still has a gap to work against, still 3 levels, but hey, that's what SRG needed to happen, and now it looks like they're going to go ahead and take some of this momentum and try to cap out here on the top side. Zalman Force already going to be used, but you can see the threat here. Ulfednar's got to respect it.
Okay, so far, that SRG is not lacking damage. Innocent also has a Malefic gun right now, so in terms of range, in terms of positioning, Innocent can really fight back. And just looking at the gold lead that SRG caught up with, it was almost a 4k gold lead for Ulfednar. Now it's down to 1.2k. You can feel that SRG is in control of the map. They had a huge turret takedown in the middle lane, exposing the jungle of TNZ. And again, I have to commend Yums for the turnaround, because even though he's 3-0-3-0 with the flicker play, although the Way of the Dragon didn't connect, it made TNZ preoccupied, went for the Wiki Shadow Kill. That's why Sekai's had a chance to steal the second turtle away from Ulfednar.
Ulfednar definitely got to stay in check here. They're still technically, at somewhat of an advantage, I guess you could say, until eventually Sekai's is even in levels or gets things even out. But look at the damage Innocent's even doing to Apex.
With a Malefic gun, look at Apex for second goes in with an implosion, but he's gonna miss. He's gonna be taken down by Innocent. Here comes the Zalman Force with the Glorious Pathway, but the damage from SRG might just be enough, despite the Revitalize. A double kill for Innocent. SRG. You can hear the arena making noise. Because so far it looks like SRG is back to their championship form.
We're now starting up the Lord here. Talk about a supporting team. If Sakai struggles, hey, the rest of the team rallies up. And Innocent locked in definitely on the Bruno. We know Bruno wins games. Like, that's the stat right now so far throughout M6. And you can't let him get there because he's at the top of the gold standing. And so that's Lord secured. SRG taking that gold lead, diminishing it completely. And now they start to go ahead and march in with the momentum in their favor. Ulfednar, they started strong, man. You know, they had the right idea. They got momentum in their favor for the early game, but then boom, all of a sudden, they find themselves on the back foot. And Ulfednar has to adjust from this. They have to be able to play a little bit smarter on the approaches of the team fights.
And the scary thing is Stormy hasn't been using the diversion as much as we want him to, but despite all that, they have a 1.1k gold lead. Lord marching down bottom as Innocent will get a tier 2 turret up top, and here comes a clash. Sakai is right in the middle of everything, will be taken down, but a feathered airstrike coming in from Rosa. But SRG still standing strong. They know that they have the Lord. They can take out all outer turrets for SRG.
Good pick off there. Sakai's does go down. Still have to deal with this Lord, but I mean, look at this. There has to be an answer. Innocent just kind of sitting in the back, and he's doing enough damage himself. Quite intense amount of damage to deal with if you're Ulfednar. They got to play with the fact that they have, you know, some of the range advantage, but this is also going to get a little bit more difficult for Apex 47 to find the implosion he's looking for until he's tanky enough, because like we saw earlier, you know, he was trying to find Innocent, trying to find anyone really to get an implosion on. He does have Flicker, but then he took too many shots and you saw how quickly he was worked on. So these buffs are going to be taken at this point. Ulfednar will have to just kind of fight for gold and XP. They're not out of the game. I mean, Sunshine's been doing pretty good. He's farmed up to where, you know, relatively a good point. He's got Stallium Scythe, Feather of Heaven, still working on his Holy Crystal, I believe. But he's not, you know, too crazy behind when it comes to Innocent. He's about 1,000 gold behind or so. And they got to catch up because some of those team fights, if they can, think about it, if they get the implosion right later on towards the game, then they've got the tools to fight. But right now, Apex 47 in trouble again. Uh-oh.
Oh, Infernal Pursuit. Whoa. And Innocent delivering the final blow to bring down Apex 47. Rosa forced to use the feathered airstrike, but just look at the damage. It's almost non-existent. Crown just literally stood under the feathered airstrike unbothered.
Oh, man. I don't know. At this point, when you're a tank like Tigreal and you're getting shredded down that fast, that does not feel good. You're left just wondering, what am I going to do? How am I going to set things up for my team? And like I said, Ulfednar has to have a response, has to have an answer to that. And it might turn into the fact where Alien also has to step up, maybe in case of saving Apex 47 or even being able to start things up, because looking at the items, now that the next Lord is up, they've got a lot of work to do. You know, yes, the jungle is still in the advantage. You've got some minor gold advantage here for the mid lane, but ultimately, look at the gold difference, man. That is a massive lead right now for Innocent.
And now they're trying to deprive Ulfednar of their purple buff, but they're not going to overextend again. This is the issue that SRG had yesterday. According to Coach Arcadia, there was some sort of discipline problem. But right now, SRG, even though the purple buff of Tenzi is really viable for them to get, they're not going to commit anything because there's a major objective up for grabs right now. It's the Lord, the second Lord, and they're wanting to secure this safely.
Okay, at this point, it's going to go for a reset or a soft one. They're going to start it up again. Ulfednar, what are they going to do?
Glorious pathway, the implosion is there, and Tenzi steals away the Lord from SRG. SRG is now mad. They want to go for the kill. Alien pops to revitalize. The first man down is Apex 47. Yums with a beautiful kick, assisting them to the members of SRG to bring down Tenzi and Alien. 5 members of SRG are still here, but Ulfednar, they got the Lord.
They got the Lord, but look at this, SRG should be able to clear these out pretty well. Again, Innocent, untouched, unbothered. Here with the team, Rosa drops down the feathered airstrike. They'll hold on to the base turrets for now. Lord still being worked on. Those waves. Oh! By Rosa.
Gets blasted out of the map.
Wow.
That's why Bruno wins. Get the Bruno plus the Malefic gun. The range, the damage is there, and on top of that, Apex 47, even if he has the flicker, he can't get to Innocent right now. Sunshine used to force to use the Salmon Force, but cannot get close enough to Innocent. Kenzie goes in with a weak shadow kill, but gets stunned out there. He has a quad shadow to go out. Whoa, SRG just on a rampage right now.
We got to do something about Bruno, man. Bruno, like teams, as they move forward through M6.
But there's a diversion play. Stormy gets away. And with that, they know that the implosion has been expended. So SRG, they can actually make a play, a huge play right now.
They'll make a play from it, but I don't know, man. Ulfednar, oh, here it is.
Okay, here comes the Energy Eruption. Salmon Force is there, plus the Revitalize coming in from Ulfednar, but SRG just dishing out the damage! Sunshine is gonna fall down! The next one is the Thorn Queen! Innocent working on Alien! Gets the double! TNZ, Apex 47 just left there for themselves! SRG has the minions, and they can end this right now!
They're going to be pushing it in again, mid-turret, the focus right now for SRG. Look at the damage on Apex. Can't even face the front right now against the Bruno. They're looking to close it out.
One Siege Minion, Apex 47, last effort with the implosion, gonna catch 4 plus the Sacred Hammer. Weakest shadow kill coming in from Tendy, but it's not gonna be enough as they're gonna get bursted down by the members of SRG. And just like that, SRG is back on track to their championship form.
This guy is not innocent, because right now, 9-0-4, what a game. What a just coming together as a team from SRG. It couldn't be untouched, just untouched, unbothered. And just great to see the adjustments that SRG had to make. Again, they were losing the early game. Ulfednar had it, and it slipped out of their hands. Really tough to see them for Ulfednar, and SRG needed that morale boost.